Good day, good evening, good night, whoever is watching or listening this video recording. Mm, Please, if you want to know something about me, go see the interview I did with John Collins on his YouTube channel, Leaving the Message. The interview is called I always say Jock Throop's Fisherman's Revival Exposed, and that's what it says in the typed title under the video. In the video itself, it says something else, or it's the other way around. Anyway, you'll find it there if you type Jock Throop, T-R-O-U-P, Jock Throop's Fisherman's Revival Exposed. You will find it there. And that will paint you a story on my background. And most part of my life, I was in this word of faith-based faith circles. And that made me very confused, and it made me go through what I know now were horrible cult churches and conferences, and expose myself to wizards and horrible people, evildoers. And in the midst of it all, God protected me. And it never did influence me. Like, I never had these manifestations and nothing. So I thought, yeah, I'm not good enough. Always the black sheep, always the black sheep, always and again the black sheep in that world, in that circles. And excuse me. And my 2-year-older sister, and I mentioned it in the interview with John Collins, she had a most big influence on me, and I didn't realize it. But I always did as she told me since a child. And if I did not do what she told me to do, all hell would and could break loose against me. It was her way or the highway. Anyway, always. That's her character. And that has a background story in itself. Of course it has. Anyway. By the time it was 2017, the only connection, I didn't realize it, but the only connection, looking back, I had with the Word of Faith movement was the connection I had with my 2-year-older sister. Because she runs her own little, as I define it now, her own little mini cult. And she always wanted me to travel to where she lives and help her and do the singing with her. Like, she would play this organ, electric organ, and I could do the second voice and I don't know what. And then she wanted to film it, and I always said, don't film me praising the Lord. I don't need nobody. I praise the Lord. I feel exposed. People don't need to see this, that I'm praising the Lord. But she enjoyed, man. Anyway, I didn't realize it back then. I didn't go to Word of Faith churches anymore and this and that, and most of it I could see through it, but not all back then, 2017. Anyway, in 2017, the first time occurred that I said no to my sister, and it was about a practical thing. It didn't matter if it was her organizing meetings or whatever, and she wanted me to show up, or she was invited to this church far away in the country and she wanted me to go there after the day of hard work, to drive there in the night and back in the night, But it also was practical matters. If she wanted me to help her with anything, I better go help her. That was the way it worked with her. And I always gave her a lot of credit because of our background, you know. And I love her. But in 2017, I was beaten up really bad, like wounded, really. And she knew it. And the only thing she wanted me to do is come there the next weekend to do work in her house, like putting a floor, like putting wallpaper, like painting, like making curtains, like standing on ladders. And I don't know what I said. I cannot even, I cannot sit, I cannot sleep. I'm in shock, I'm in pain. I cannot do that coming weekend. And every day she kept calling me and trying to make me come next weekend to do all that work. Like she didn't hear what I was telling her, like she didn't believe what I was telling her. Anyway, by the time it was Thursday, again she called, yeah, do you come tomorrow? And I said, no, I'm not coming. I am not coming. I cannot. I'm wounded. I cannot sleep at night. I couldn't sit properly without pain. I couldn't stand. I couldn't lay down without pain. And I was in shock because of what happened. So I told her very straight, no, I'm sorry. Even if I would, even if I cannot. It's impossible. All hell broke loose. He started to scream and call me I don't know what. And you promised me and you betray me. And well, later after that, I found out that the most faithful follower she has always around her is this guy. He has mental problems. And after that happened in 2017, there came a point in time I thought, I have a question about something practical. I'm going to ask this guy. I'm going to phone him and I'm going to ask him the question. Had nothing to do with the ministry of my sister, had nothing to do with nothing. Just a practical question about something. I don't remember the question. So I called him. He picked up the phone and I said, hey, how are you doing? Listen, I have a practical question to you about this or that. And he answered, I am not allowed to talk to you by your sister. I am not allowed to speak to you. I just have a practical question. No, I'm not allowed to talk to you. Then you're in a little mini cult, in her case. Anyway, 2018 came, and my family is in disgusting darkness. Me seeing all that, nobody wants to talk with each other about it in my family, but they all come to me to tell me, and I say, talk to each other. They don't do it. 2018, a horrible thing as a result of all the darkness in my family going on. The oldest son of my brother, he's 3 years older than me, committed suicide. And that had reasons. So the whole family was upset and everybody came to this city because my brother lives a block away from me. And so Katja was here too, my 2-year-old sister. Her name is Katja. And where did she end up? In the house of Cora, because that's where she always wants to be. Because she doesn't get along with the rest of the family, because they don't have the patience and with her like I have. And she knows it all. So there was Katja, and I think, oh, Father help me. Well, it's a hard time. The kid is dead. Everybody's grieving and in turmoil. And okay. But again, here in my house, there she sat And she started to dictate my life because she was back to some charismatic church. So she was telling me, and you have to go to church again. First she said, you should not go to any church because none of them is good. But now her message had changed. So Cora had to go back to church. And Cora had to get herself a piano in the house for this and that reason. And Cora had to do this and that. And I looked at her and I think, oh boy, here we go. Knowing her character. So I tried to bring it as nicely as I could. Please don't take me wrong, but sometimes I have to go to the bathroom. And that's it. That's it. Please, I will not do in life anymore what you tell me to do, Katja. It's done. I'm not doing it anymore. And I told it as calm as I'm saying it now. Knowing the results of it all. Here we go. She screams, she shouts, she jumps like she's been stung with a bee, from a bee. And here she goes with a lot of noise, leaving my house, screaming. You're ashamed of the neighbors in that case. Anyway, all of that resulted in things happening in my life in 2019. Some people I have told it. I have told this to Richard Moore, and I have told this to Everett Gagnon in private messages by email. And a few other people I've been telling privately what's been happening to me in 2019 when all hell broke loose against me. And I didn't have an easy life since I was born. And most of it, I don't tell it in the channel of John Collins because it would be too much. Really. But you can believe me. I'm not a liar. But anyway, all hell broke loose against me in 2019. And the inner motor behind it came from my own family and my 2-year-old sister in France, trying to get rid of me. That's a story in itself, and I'm not going to tell it. Anyway, since all that happened, and my eyes were fully opened to the spirit behind the charismatic movement, I'm fully detached from it, fully, and I can smell it from a distance. And I stay far away from it, and they want to get rid of me actively. But my fate is not in their hands. That's a fact. Is it exciting to have to live like this now for 7 years? Yes, it is. And does it bring times of anxiety and tears and oh yes, it does. It does. But in that all, the Lord sustains me. That's a fact too. And but it makes you realize how lonely you are in this world. That's my experience. Because I'm totally detached from the world I came from. And the people still in that world who are so blinded because the motives of their own heart are ungodly. So the doctrines fit their motives. That's the way it works. They don't want nothing to do with me. I'm not welcome in the churches. I even tried here in the local Baptist church where my brother goes and my sister-in-law, who was part of the people who tried to abduct me in 2019. They ordinarily tried to abduct me in broad daylight. And that's a story in itself, I'm telling you. But it started the total opening of my eyes, like, wow, this is what I'm dealing with. This is the spirit that drives these people for real. And they go to a local Baptist church here, and after 7 years I decided to go there and contact the pastor and say, listen, my family's in your church in this town, and I'm not here for 7 years because she, the wife of my brother, was part of a 3 persons total, my sister Katja and another Christian lady, and then my sister-in-law tried to abduct me in broad daylight in 2019 to drive me to a mental clinic and lock me away, and really away, not voluntarily. No. And what happened after that, it's horrific. Anyway, so I told, I contacted the pastor and I told him, like, I never spoke to him in person. This was all by app. He never phoned me or whatever. But I said, listen, I think we need to talk. I don't come in your church. People who harmed me big time and who are making lies upon lies for years. And I've been telling them for years, talk to me. Talk to me, like the Bible says, Matthew 5. If you know somebody has something against you, don't go to church, play holy one. No, go to that person and make it right. That's what the Bible teaches. These people are not interested in what the Bible teaches. My family is not interested in what the Bible teaches. They say Jesus is them everything. No, they despise his commands. That's what they do. It's their responsibility. I can only tell them that they do it, which I do. Because I love them. I truly do. They're dear to me, their souls. But anyway, the end of that is that I'm not welcome there. I'm not welcome in that church. No, my family is welcome there to sit there and act, keep their act up. And I'm not welcome there. That's the world upside down. That was the result of me contacting the pastor. And they broadcast publicly on YouTube their services. So I went to one of their services to see, what is this church? What is the preaching over here? And they had a guest speaker who was propping up Billy Graham and I don't know what, and teaching Word of Faith doctrine. And I was, no, this is a Baptist church. Well, it's everywhere, And I talked to a few people there. They didn't know who I was, and I asked to a few people, could you explain the gospel of Christ to me? They couldn't. And the guest speaker was telling Word of Faith doctrines, and they broadcast it worldwide on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. So, since I was there, and I have this YouTube channel now for 7 years, refuting the lies that have been publicly spread about me before I ever had a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is a reaction to the public lies spread about me in my country. And so I made a YouTube video, and I told in my YouTube video, I went to the church where my brother goes, and I asked to the pastor, I want a conversation with you if you are willing about the fact that my family visits your church, and this is biblically not okay, what's happening. And this is going on for 7 years, and they refuse to talk to me and to let the Bible speak right, like it should be done. So that's what I said on my YouTube channel, and he is willing to talk to me. He said he was. And then I said in my YouTube video, well, by the way, I visited the church and there was a guest speaker, but he, to my sadness, said things that are not biblical. That is Word of Faith doctrine. And I was sad to hear that. And I told him, he was friendly. he said he wanted to talk about it, so that's okay, you know. And after that, I received a message from this pastor and his team of elders that I'm not welcome there anymore because I had been saying things on YouTube and they didn't like it. But my brother and his wife are welcome there. And this pastor and this team knows very well what I have against them and accuse them of openly for 7 years now. And the fact that they refuse to do as the Bible tells us. Well, the Bible is very clear. I'm not welcome in no church. I don't know any church here where I live. And the charismatic movement in Holland it creeps in everywhere. Everywhere. Then I have this little old camper van. And I'm in a Facebook group where older women like me, they have camper vans and they travel around and this and that. And I get a message from a woman and she invites me for this weekend where some women with camper vans are in a camping. Why don't you come join us? And I say, well, that's a good thing because where they are, it's bush and it's dunes. It's very lovely to have long walks in nature, which I love. So I'm there. And it's a nice weekend. One is crutching. The other one has 2 dogs. The other one is making little artwork with little old cans and beads and they're talking about things of life. And I'm there and I'm enjoying. But in the same time, I think, man, if I would open my mouth here and tell about my life, they're babbling about their lives. They would think like, who the heck is this? What is she talking about? You know, it's like I'm in this world, but I don't belong to no group, I don't. And that's exactly what the Bible teaches, isn't it? But it's a lonely road, I'm telling you. It's a lonely road. And it is. I'm very happy that I know that there is nothing hidden that will not be revealed. And that's up to God. And I know that what He has started, He will finish. So how people judge me or don't want nothing to do with me or ignore me or whatever, it's not about me. But God is doing something. And this is the separation, really. And yeah. I'm looking forward to, of course, to the day that Christ calls us home. And I don't say it's then or before or in the midst of the tribulation or after the tribulation. It's none of my business to know that. The Father knows that. Huh? He knows exactly what He's doing. But I know what I have to do. I have to do the commands of Christ. That every child can understand and do. And then I am His witness. The gospel is so simple. It's too simple for proud people to understand. And that's the way God wants it. Because proud people He doesn't want in His kingdom. Their ego is too big. They cannot make it through the gate. Because in the end, it's about themselves and their doctrines and their feelings and their beliefs. But there's only one true doctrine. And it's revealed to us. It really is revealed. Because any child can understand. Nobody will have an excuse. No, no. So yeah, that was a thought I felt like to share. And we'll see. I gave now a message to that pastor from this Baptist church, since I heard in the morning that my brother and my sister-in-law are welcome there and going there as we speak, but I'm not welcome there. But they are willing to have a talk after the summer with me. Well, I gave them a message. No, I will not even try to. There's no use to talk to people who cannot judge things on basis of what the scripture says. No. This pastor knows exactly the accusations. He knows. I told him all. It's not right. And I told him, one day, one day justice will be done by the righteous judge. And he takes care about his own. And he never leaves us nor forsakes us. And I'm so grateful for that. I am. So that's it for now. Bye bye. Be good. Follow Christ. Then you'll be good. Bye.